Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Mo. Yes, and Merry Christmas to you all in advance. Oh my god, it feels so good to be back here. If it's your first time on this space, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment. And we are here to have fun, right? All right, so my last video, welcome back video, I said I was going to be talking about wedding budgets, and thank you all for all your messages, well wishes. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to be talking about wedding budget, right? And I was my own event planner, so it was quite easy for me to control my budgets because I and my husband already had a budget, what we're looking towards, what we wanted, right? So, and being the event planner, in case you're looking for an event planner, don't forget to reach out. So being the event planner of my event, it was quite easy for us to control our budget. Sorry, forgive my voice, I kind of have a cold and I don't know why, because Lagos is so hot and I don't know where this cold is coming from, so maybe the dust, but I mean, so pardon my voice please. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about today, wedding budgets, and then just some things I did at my own wedding while I was planning for my wedding, things I did to cut down on the budgets and spendings, right? So I'm just going to be sharing it briefly with you guys. The first thing I think you need to decide on is how many stages of wedding ceremonies you want to have. For me, I feel like that's the first thing. Well, that was the first thing we spoke about and we decided, right? So in this country that we are in, Nigeria, right, for most people, I think we have the introduction, we have the traditional marriage, we have the civil wedding, we have the white wedding, we have the reception, and then we have the after party. Some even have an after party after an after party, right? So, like I said, you need to decide on how many stages of wedding ceremonies you want to have. I had the 5 stages. I had my introduction, I had the white, civil, traditional, and then the reception, but there was no after party, right? So it all depends on how you choose to arrange it in order to ease the budget, in order to ease your spending, and in order to ease the stress, right? So for me, I had my introduction like 9 months to when I had the main event, right? So that was just family, was close knitted family. There was no much serere. I had my aunts, organize and anchor the program, so there was no need for me to spend on Alaga and all that, but you can do that as well. It all depends on your budget and what you're looking towards and how you want your event to be. I had my civil wedding on Friday, and then the next day was the traditional marriage, which was on Saturday, which was also the white wedding and also the reception. We went to church in the morning, and after that we came back, got ready for the traditional marriage, and then we went for the traditional marriage, and after that the reception follows immediately, right? So if I was going to have my traditional marriage like on a Friday, I was going to feed people, and then have the white wedding on a Saturday, I'm still going to feed people. So that's like, I merged the feeding together into one, right, to save costs and spending. So like I said, you need to decide on how many stages of marriage you want to have, or how many stages of wedding ceremony you want to have. Most people tend to have way more than that. It depends on your pockets, it depends on the budget you're working with, right? Like I said from the beginning. So some just do traditional marriage and then reception, and then they go to church and do blessings of marriage the next day, which is Sunday, right? And some just decide to do only their civil wedding and traditional marriage, and then that's it. So like I said, it depends on your budget, depends on what you're working on, it depends on how you want your events and your day to look like. After deciding on the number of stages of wedding ceremony you want to have, that's the stages of wedding ceremony you want to have, I think the next thing you need to decide on is the number of guests. Yes, very important. You guys need to come to an agreement and decide on the number of guests you want to have. 50, 20, 30, 100, 150, 300, 1000. You need to decide on it. It's very, very important, because that's like the next stepping stone into how the budget goes, right? So like I said, decide on the number of guests you want to have, right, which we did. And I mean, I will tell you, I had plans I was gonna have 100 people at my wedding, and then African parents being African parents, we kept on increasing, the numbers was increasing. Every time I had a conversation with my mom, it goes from 100 to maybe 120, maybe 150. I won't lie, guys, because my mom kept on, going on and on about who is she going to tell, who is she not going to tell, who is she going to offend, So the numbers kept on increasing, and I ended up with I said give or take 200 guests, right? And every day I see my mom telling one or two people, oh, my daughter is getting married. And I'm like, are you sure this 200 is going to work? Forgive me. I'm like, are you sure this 200 is going to work? Because who are all these people? Right? But I'm glad it worked out. It worked out fine. Be firm with the number of guests you want to have, because the number of guests you want to have will determine the type of hall you rent, right? Will determine feeding, which is very important. You see, the hall and feeding, very, very important. For those of you who don't want to have your events in a hall, maybe you want to use a field, or you want to use your father's compound. Like I said, the number of guests determines. For those that want to use a hall, you need to, if you are looking at having 100 guests, right, you need to look for a hall that can accommodate 100 guests. But imagine if you're looking at you don't even know the particular number of people you're expecting, and you go and take a hall capacity that is 150, and on that day you end up seeing 300. Where would they sit? That's where you have people loitering around, hanging around, and it's going to make your event messy. So please decide on the number of guests you want to have at your event. All right, so after you must have decided on the number of guests you want at your events, there are important things you need to do that I feel like they are inevitable. You just need them at your wedding. You can't do without them at your wedding, right? You need a conducive venue, not just anyhow venue that is conducive. So if you're taking a hall, because I use the hall, you need to be sure that the hall is fully air conditioned, or they have proper fans. It's better they even have both fans and air conditioned. But please make sure you have conversations and you decide and you conclude with the management to be sure that yes, your hall, their ACs are working, their fans are working, because you want to have an event and all your guests are sweating really bad because the hall is so hot, right? So please decide on the venue. All right, so the second thing you need is a photographer, right? You need good pictures. Everybody needs to have their wedding pictures, right? So you need to have a good photographer, have a conversation with the photographer, negotiate for what is convenient for you as well. Have a good package, right? Okay, so another thing I have on my list is clothes, right? That includes your traditional marriage clothes, civil wedding clothes, reception dress, after party dress, and also your parents' clothes, right? Like I and my husband, we decided that we're going to get our parents their clothes, right? So we bought the material for them, and then they went ahead to do the sewing themselves. So clothes is very important. You need it. You can't attend your wedding naked, right? So it's also very, very important. One of the things you should look at in fixing immediately when you are planning. Another thing that is very, very important is decoration, right? You can't leave your hall empty, or the field or your father's compound. You can't leave your venue empty, right? So you need to look at decoration. Also, another thing I have here is accommodation, right? For those of us that are in-laws, were coming from a different location. Like for me, I had my in-laws coming in from Osogbo. I had some people coming in from Lagos. So I had to look for accommodation for them, right? Which is very important, because they won't come to your wedding or your event and then you leave them stranded. It doesn't make any sense. So you need to make provisions for that. The number of days they'll be staying, you need to make provisions for that. So the next thing we have is the cake, right? For some people, they don't like having cake. I don't know. But if you would like to have a cake at your wedding, then cake is also very important. Then we have the MC and Alaga, right? So for those of us that are having just traditional marriage and you don't want to have a reception that follows, Alaga is fine. But if you want to have a traditional marriage and you also want to have a reception, then you will need an MC as well. Then we have DJ or live band. Some usually have both, I had just the DJ. So it depends on your budget. Like I said, if you want to have a live band and you want to have DJ as well, please, with all means, go ahead. But like I said, if you're working with, you should have a budget, right? So if your budget can accommodate a DJ and a live band, please go ahead. For me, I had just the DJ at my events and I enjoyed it. It was great. I think the next thing is accessories. I just had to merge them together. There's the shoe, the bags, the earrings, the necklace, the bead, you know, whatever accessories you would like to use. And then makeup as well, right? So please make sure you have a conversation with your makeup artist, because I've seen weddings whereby the bride is late or because the makeup artist came late. Right, so please have a conversation with your makeup artist and you guys should decide. If you're passing the nights, please make sure you make provision for the person where the person will pass the night as well, right? So that it's quite easy for you to wake up early and then you start what you need to do early and you can have as many pictures as you want, right? So please, you guys should have that conversation. And makeup artists, when you guys agree, please don't disappoint. If you say you're not passing the night and you say you're going to be at a particular place at a particular time, please try as much as possible to be there, right? It goes a long way. So I have another thing I call hidden spendings, right? Some people like to call it miscellaneous, but me, I call it hidden spendings because I don't see it until I'm already there or like so close, right? So like you don't even think about it until you're there, like really, oh, we need to do this. Oh, then it starts coming up. Right, so me, I call it hidden spendings. While I was thinking about getting married, right, it didn't dawn on me that civil wedding, I'll have to pay money for that. So yes, there was a fee you had to pay to the courts for your civil wedding, right? So that's, for me, that's a hidden spending. So another hidden spending is medicals, right? So for some, I'm sure a lot of churches, for those that want to do white wedding, or even if you're not having your white wedding, you go through counseling. And then church will also ask you to go and do your medicals to be sure that you're compatible, you know, and stuff like that. Some church even go as far as having to do a pregnancy test and all, right? So that's, I didn't foresee that, right? We already knew our genotype. We already did our, like, the medicals we had wanted to do, and we already knew that, okay, yeah, we're compatible. Not knowing that the church will also ask us to do another one. So that was like another hidden spending. Another hidden spending for me was wedding card, the backdrop for pictures, and then the wedding program. Anyways, it's not like I didn't think about it, but you know, they were not like major. I didn't see it as a major plan or something to put a budget to, right? So that came out to me as hidden spendings. That's all about the hidden spendings for me. If you have any more hidden spendings that you had at your own events or miscellaneous that you just, you know, that just came out of the blues, please don't forget to drop it in the comment section. Okay, so lastly, food and drinks. I know some of you are going to be wondering and be thinking, this lady, I've not spoken about food and drinks. Yes, food and drinks is very, very important, guys. Very, very important. So like I said, the number of guests determines a lot of things, right? So the number of the guests determines what you will plan, the food and drinks you will plan towards entertaining your guests. So please be specific about the number of guests you want to have at your events. Then you can decide on how many course meal you want to have depending on your budget, right? And then the type of drinks you want to have depending on your budgets. Okay, I think I have shared the little I had, right? I've put together. Well, for me, that was what I did. I was very particular about the number of guests, and then that helped on a lot of things. Like I said, costs, right? So Nigeria is not smiling these days. But if your pocket is large enough or you want to have a large and elaborate wedding, please, by all means, go ahead and have it. It's one-day event, so please enjoy it, and make sure you're happy. Always be happy, right? I'm also going to be sharing the handles of the vendors that I use. That's for the clothes, makeup, cake, decoration, the hall I used, photography. Oh my god, how can I forget? So yes, I'm going to be sharing their handles down. It's going to be in the description of this video, so you can contact them. I mean, they really did really amazing for me. For most of you, those of you that have seen my dress, I mean, you would know what I'm saying. And then for the photography, it was great. So decoration was fantastic. It was great. Everything went on well. DJ, perfect, right? So I'm going to be sharing their handles in the description. You can reach out to them if you have an event coming up, right? And I'm sure, and I promise you, they will not disappoint you. All right, that will be all for today. Till we meet again another time. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and also don't forget to subscribe, guys. It's very important to do. And to all my subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for staying true to this girl's channel. Merry Christmas again to you all in advance, and I wish you a prosperous new year. Till we meet again, it's your girl signing out. Bye.